President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi conducted an inspection tour at the latest additions to the arsenal of Egypt's air carrier, Egypt Air, at the Cairo International Airport.
Yes, the president have made this tour upon his arrival from the United Arab Emirates, where he paid a brief visit which focused on boosting bilateral ties and consultations on regional issues.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Monday made an inspection visit to Mohammed bin Zayed's University for Artificial Intelligence. The two leaders made the tour at the start of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's few-hour visit to the friendly Arab country, where he was briefed on the university sector's academic programs and the latest technological innovations. Shortly after the tour, both presidents gathered in a business lunch, with the president hailing the good hospitality and the prompted level of bilateral ties and cooperation in different fields, particularly in trade and investment. The head of state asserted Egypt's openness to more Emirati investments, saying that bilateral ties are a key pillar of regional stability and security. President Sisi and Sheikh bin Zayed then held expanded talks on a set of regional issues of mutual concern. Both sides have asserted the importance of boosting Arab solidarity amid the critical conditions witnessed in the Middle East. The talks in particular focused on unfolding conditions in Gaza, where the two leaders asserted the necessity of the complete implementation of Gaza ceasefire deal, as well as U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan. They called for the unhindered access of humanitarian aid to Gaza, particularly with the approach of fasting month of Ramadan, and also the quick start of reconstruction and post-war recovery in the Strip. The two presidents reiterated that an everlasting peace in the region could only be achieved through the two-state solution. They also urged peaceful settlements to all regional crises to avoid further escalation. After the talks, Emirati leader bid farewell to President Sisi at the Dubai International Airport.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madhouli witnessed the launch ceremony of the El Monte Galala Towers and Marina at the new capital. Addressing the ceremony, the Prime Minister said that the project is part of the package of the important developmental projects aiming at promoting the Red Sea coast along the ongoing development of the Mediterranean Sea's northwestern coast. Madhouli added that the project is based on an integrated planning to upgrade the coastal services and facilities into long-term, sustainable and multi-purpose usage. The project, at an investment value of £50 billion, is the latest addition of the urban development projects of the Red Sea shore. Madhouli also witnessed the signing of several cooperation and strategic partnership accords with a group of leading world corporations in the field of urban planning.
Minister of Defense and Military Production General Abdel Majid Sakra on Monday met Tunisian Minister of National Defense Khalid Al-Suhaili along with top military brass from the two states. The two ministers agreed on enhancing military cooperation amid the unfolding conditions at the regional and international arenas. They also shared the concluding session of the 18th Joint Military Cooperation Committee, which tackled a number of topics pertaining to expanding cooperation and exchanging expertise in various military fields.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdulati cherished the deeply rooted historic ties binding Egypt and Cyprus. The minister made these remarks during phone talks with the Cypriot Foreign Minister Konstantinos Kombos, which tackled enhancing bilateral ties as well as the regional issues of mutual concern. Abdulati hailed Cyprus's support at different international institutions in light of the current presidency of the European Union Council, calling for the activation of memoranda of understanding and agreements inked by both countries to boost a joint economic and investment cooperation. The top diplomat also pointed out to the strong partnership among Egypt, Cyprus and Greece in light of the cooperation mechanism. On the regional front, the two ministers agreed on intensifying the efforts to diffuse regional tensions and pushing diplomatic solutions for the crises marring the Middle East.
Egypt on Monday expressed its sincere condolences to the government and people of Nigeria over the victims of a terrorist incident that occurred in the western state of Kwara. A foreign ministry statement stressed Egypt's rejection of all sorts of violence and terrorism and its solidarity with the African country in such a tragic incident. The statement extended Egypt's heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and wished a speedy recovery for the wounded.
Egypt condemned the latest Israeli decisions that aim at deepening the illegal plots of forcing an Israeli annexation of the occupied West Bank. The Israeli occupation measures reportedly included facilitating crimes of seizing Palestinian properties and allowing the Israeli occupation authorities to administer the Islamic religious sites in Hebron, including the Ibrahimi Mosque. A foreign ministry statement said that these measures are a flagrant violation of the international law as they force deliberate changes to the historical status of the ancient and religious sites. The statement added that the Israeli occupation measures run contradictory to the Hebron Accords of 1997, asserting total rejection of the policies of settlement and any unilateral measure that undermine peace and the two-state solution.
To the same end, Egypt joined several other countries in condemning new Israeli occupation measures to force sovereignty in the West Bank.
Yes, a joint statement by the foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Indonesia, Pakistan and Turkey said that the illegal Israeli measures pave the way for more settlements and force a new reality in order to accelerate the annexation of the occupied Palestinian territory. The details follow.
International outrage was growing on Monday at the Israeli occupation plans to tighten grip over the West Bank, with the United Nations chief saying he was gravely concerned and warned they were eroding the prospects for the two-state solution. Similarly, the European Union denounced the new Israeli measures, saying that this move was another step in the wrong direction. Earlier, the foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Indonesia, Pakistan and Turkey issued a joint statement in which they strongly condemned the illegal Israeli decisions, saying they aimed at imposing unlawful Israeli sovereignty on the Palestinian territory. Announced on Sunday by Finance Minister and Defense Minister of Israeli Occupation Authority, after being approved by the Security Cabinet, they include allowing Israelis to buy West Bank land directly and extending greater Israeli occupation control over areas where the Palestinian Authority exercises power. It was unclear when the new rules would take effect, but they do not require further approval. Israeli measures also envisaged transferring authority over building permits for settlements in Palestinian city of Hebron, the West Bank's largest, from the Palestinian Authority to the Israeli Occupation Authority. In addition to the diplomatic criticism, the announcement drew condemnation from Palestinians. The Palestinian presidency in Ramallah, which exercises limited control over some areas of the West Bank, said that the move was aimed at deepening attempts to annex the occupied West Bank by driving Palestinians into small pieces of land.
Egypt's stock market indices collectively went up in the trading session on Monday after selective purchasing operations by local investment funds and foreign investors reached high rates. The benchmark EGX 30 index gained 0.52% to close at 50,293.53 points. The EGX 70 index for small and medium businesses also added 0.07% to close at 12,882.95 points. And the broader EGX 100 index also gained 0.18% to close at 17,872.02 points. The market capitalization gained 13 billion pounds to close at 3 trillion and 292 billion pounds amid transactions of about 63.7 billion pounds.